Hey everybody, you're watching CAD Roll Hunter, and this is episode 11 of our nickel hunt and album fill. Hey folks, this is James and you're watching my channel CAD Roll Hunter, and we got a fresh box of custom wrapped Canadian nickels. We're eager to get into that. We have our beautiful Lighthouse Vista album, and we're looking to fill some spots and upgrade anything here. We've got lots of spots in the 40s and 50s that we can still fill. So far, we've got 82 out of 117 spots, and we're looking for some upgrades, and we're looking to fill some of these spots. And as you can see, here's some examples right on this page that we could possibly get. Some King George VI, of course, some laureate portrait, and of course, if we ever found another King George V nickel, we'd be ecstatic. And those would fill some spots too. So let's crack into some rolls and see what we can do. Roll number 4, and we're going to have our first find. It's a laureate portrait. It's going to be a 63 or 64. We can tell that because it's got the rounded edge. And it is a 1964. We'll take a little closer look and see if it's got the extra water line. And I'm just pulling it up here. There's our 64. And as I look, there is no die crack here showing that quote-unquote extra water line. And just a few coins back, there's another 64 here. We could see it pretty clearly if it was the extra water line just by looking at the coin here. We can see that it is not. It doesn't have that die crack. But it is a laureate portrait for the board. That's our second 64 of the hunt, our second find of the hunt. And towards the end of that roll, we're going to have our first foreign coin. It is un-American, looks newer, and it's a 2012 Denver. Roll number 5, I've got a 1965 under the scope, looking to see if it's the small bead or the large bead, and it is definitely the small bead. We're again looking in the middle of this Roman numeral 2. We're looking for a large bead right in the center, and that's not it. Roll number 8, I wouldn't normally bring you in for a 2007, but this one looks about as perfect as it can be. It looks like it just rolled off the mint presses. What a gorgeous coin. Same roll, I've got a 2016, and I've highlighted this before, but probably not for a while. But just have a look at the beads around the rim. They are clearly all there, but in certain lights, many of them appear to disappear or be missing. I find this on 2016s, 2018s, maybe not necessarily the new ones. So there's something going on here. I haven't been able to find any information about it. It's as though it was a weak strike. It's really common in these years. And if you've seen this before, maybe put a comment. If you have an idea about what this is that's causing it, please let me know. I'm really interested to hear more about why this has happened, why it's on some and not others. But you can clearly see that when I move it in the light, some of those beads appear to be gone. Roll number 9, I got a 1981 here that we'll compare against the album. It's a pretty nice one. Same roll, just our second American, a 1998 Philadelphia. Roll number 11, we got a really nice 1995 we can check against the album. Roll number 13, we've got our first 1990 we can put under the scope and see if we've got that bare belly. And we do not. Later in that roll, we've got the 2017 commemorative, and just a bit behind that, we've got what is going to be our third American, and it's the Ocean in View. So that's a cool one, a 2005 P. I'm in roll number 14, and I've got a 1996 that I put under the scope because I'm always looking to see if it's the near 6 or the far 6 variety. But I'm also looking for a rare variety that we've just found, which is really awesome. This is known as the attached 6. Check this out. There's a die chip between the 6 and the D that basically makes these two attached. I've probably looked at, I'm going to say hundreds of 1996s, and I've never found one until right now. So this is an awesome find. This is the attached 6, 1996 with that die chip, which is really an awesome find. Same roll, and looks like we're going to get a bonus find in this. It's already turned out to be an awesome roll. We got another 1964, not the extra water line. Okay, I am super excited. I've got this 96 here. I just took a closer look. There's another variety you can look for on the 96 that is not very common at all. It's what is called the crown on Beaver. Basically, it's a die clash. And if you look at this, if I pull up this coin, take a look at what we see. All of this here is a die clash. You can clearly see the jewels of the crown from the obverse. If I flip it over, there they all are. You can very clearly see that. We can see that die clash above the beaver. And additionally, on the obverse, we can see the die clash on this side of the beaver by the queen's face on both sides. We can see that on this side and the other side. So this coin here is the 1996 attached 6. You can even see it with the naked eye. Crown on beaver, basically a major die clash on both sides of this coin. That is a huge, super exciting find. Roll number 15, I got another 1996. This is the Far 6 variety. Lots of space here. No die chip. And of course, just for comparison's sake, if we look up by the beaver, we don't see any of that die clash, just some damage. I'm in roll number 21, and this roller was really tight, and the coins couldn't really fit flat in there. They were on a bit of an angle, much like those defective dime wrappers that I've been seeing lately, where they just don't fit quite right. But what we're seeing in here are a bunch of nicer 80s. So there's an 88, I see an 86 behind it, an 85. So we'll check some of these against our 80s coins. I think we have some nice ones, but these are nicer than we would normally see. They still are circulated, but they've got lots of mint luster on them. And the newest of these coins seem to be these early 2000s. That's a 2002 right there. So we'll get a peek and see what we've got in here. Same roll, we got a 2002 that looks really exceptionally nice. Look at that. I think that's one I will probably keep and roll that up with my really good examples. Still in that same roll, we got a really nice 1977 low 7. Roll 22 is going to give us just our 4th American of the hunt. It's a pretty nice looking example here. This one is a 1988 Denver in pretty nice condition. I just cracked into roll number 27, and look at this gorgeous 1998 I have here. Just noting that this roller here is an older style. I don't see those very often, and this roll appears to be filled with some older stuff. It looks like some 80s, 90s. We've got some nickel stuff, so we might find some cool stuff. We'll see. Partway through that roll, I see we're going to find an older one here. Get this 85 out of the way, and there's our laureate portrait. This one is a 1964. Same roll and another one. Pretty circulated, this one. Not a lot of detail on the queen, but another 64. Roll 29 gives us our 12th U.S. nickel, a 1983 out of Philadelphia. Roll number 31, and we got a good start here with a low mintage 1991. That's minted at just 10,900,000. This 93 in that roll could be an upgrader. Well, we are just in roll number 32, and this is the second hunt in a row. We're going to have a 50s Jefferson. Look at this. We've got a 1956, and this is a Denver. Not the kind of thing we'd expect to see in our Canadian nickel hunts, but something I'd welcome any day of the week. Roll 43, and there's a pretty sweet looking 1986. We'll compare that against the album for sure. And we're finding, again, some more mid-90s and some 80s in that, and some older Americans as well, like this 78 Denver. And just a little bit back, it's our second laureate portrait year. This is a 1963. We've had 5 1964s, and it looks like it's got company right behind it. So that's a good one. And then what have we got right here? It is our 6th 1964. And very last coin of that roll, we got ourselves a 1967 Confederation commemorative. Awesome. Roll 36 gives us another 1964. Roll number 37, and we're going to have a dime in there. Okay, we pulled out our stowaway, and it's just a common 2006. Roll number 40, and we've got another 1964 here, laureate portrait nickel. Roll number 40, just cracked it open, just a few coins in, and we're going to have our oldest coin of the hunt. It's a 1940 King George VI, and I think, if I recall, This is the one we have in our album that is hold at the top. So I think this is going to be an upgrader. In the 1940s, that is an awesome find, and certainly in much better shape than the one we have with a hole in it. So King George VI in the box. Roll number 42, we're going to have another find. This time it is a 1964. Same roll, we got a 12-sided edge here, so we'll have an older Elizabeth Laureate portrait. Let's take a peek and see what we've got here. This one's a 1960. Roll 43, another 1990, but not the bare belly this time either. And we'll have another later Elizabeth in this roll. Again, a 1964. And yet another 64 in this same roll. And this roll is not done with us. We're still going, and we've got another 1964. This might very well be our 10th or 11th now. Well, I can't recall the last time that happened, because this might be 3 now in this very roll here. Another 64. I'm going to have to check them all just to make sure I didn't miss an extra waterline in any of them. Roll number 48. I got this 2000, and when I flip it over, I see the P composition mark. That means we've got a low mint, 2000P. This is minted at just 4,899,000. That's a great find. Roll number 50, very last roll. I bring you in because we've got another US. It's a 1989P. Nothing terribly special, but it is probably our 33rd or 34th of the hunt. And there might be a couple others in there. I see an In God We Trust peeking through. If we find anything else in here, I will bring you in. Otherwise, we'll have a wrap-up of this pretty crazy cool hunt. All right, we have completed that hunt, and what a hunt it was. Well, first of all, the nickel cup is almost completely full. So we found lots of older nickel-composed nickels, but we found a lot of other things too. We got 33 US, actually we got 34 because we got this 1956, so an early Jefferson nickel, well, early-ish, I suppose, but a 1950s nevertheless. We got a dime. We got a whole assortment of 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s that we want to compare against the album. We'll see if we can get any upgrades out of there. But in terms of other finds, we did really well. We got 15 Laureate portrait nickels. We got one lone 12-sided 1960 and one 1963. We got 13 1964s. We also got that 1967 commemorative with the hare on it, or the rabbit. And of course, we got this 1940, which should be an upgrade for our 1940 in the album, which I believe has a hole in it. We got that low mint 1991 and that low mint 2000P. That's under 5 million minted. But our best find by far in this hunt is this 1996. This is the attached 6. I'm going to throw it under the scope one more time. But it has that significant die clash on both sides that we can really see. We can see right here, but I'll throw that under the scope and get a closer look. Okay, so we've looked through everything. Well, you can see that we didn't actually upgrade the 1940 because it's the 41 that has the hole in it. So we got to keep our eyes open for a replacement for that one. Our 1940 in the album was already better than the one that we found. So we didn't add anything new to the album today, but we did get some upgrades. We actually upgraded 5 coins. We upgraded this 1981. And on the next page, we did a bunch of upgrades on here. We upgraded the 1993, the 1995, the 1999, and this 1996 near 6. And speaking of 1996, of course, our find of the hunt was this 1996 attached 6, far 6, Crown on Beaver die clash, as it's known. What an amazing find. I really hope you've enjoyed this video and album fill and coin roll hunt. If you have, please give it a like. If you don't already subscribe to my channel, Cat Roll Hunter, please click that subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.